Working. From the last speaker, I understand this may not be working, so hopefully we can do this manually in the way. So thank you. I really am the last speaker here, and here to hear about yet another CDMO. So I'm going to make it interesting for you. So why would you stay here, and what's so different about yet another CDMO? First of all, you hear about CDMO services in North America. We know about Europe. But here I am, a Canadian CDMO, here visiting ARM in Europe, thinking, why would I be here? So I'll walk you through. In my first couple of slides, I decided to give you all the punchlines, so that way you can all enjoy the rest of Rome. So we really do focus on the partner and keeping the patient in mind. And why is, you figure a lot of CDMOs may say that, but we really come from a background that keeps that in mind. We love to work collaboratively, and I think that's one of our strengths, in ensuring that it's an us and not a you and me scenario. We've been founded in 2016. We've kept the mission in mind, and we intend to move forward with this. Make the therapies affordable. They have to make it to the patient. It will be an ecosystem win. Otherwise, everybody's a loser. So there's advantages of working with us and keeping that in mind. And although we're still starting off young and small out of Canada, we are keeping global in mind. And I will explain how we're getting there from where we're located up in Montreal. So we work with the mind of us, keeping the patient in mind. We work very hard, and this is some of how we like to work with clients, and this is one of our differentiators, I feel. So another CDMO, how do you work? What are your differentiating marks? Why? Considering what we hear in the ecosystem is space has come online. There's certainly a lot of capability. All CDMOs, we say we're innovative, we state-of-the-art, but we all buy the same equipment. We're buying from some of the individuals that are located here today. So what really differentiates us? This is one of our differentiators here. This is an unsolicited message from one of our public companies who really appreciates the value of our partnership, and actually it's quite an emotional one. We work keeping excellence in mind, and it's really our people that make the difference. We work their efforts, long days, nights, and weekends spent manufacturing this drug product just might be what gives the patient another holiday season, the opportunity to attend their child's wedding or live a life without constant medical intervention. We are very collaborative. We're responsive. That is important. How are we described by this group? They are responsive, our people, professional, courteous, kind, always looking to be part of the solution, helpful, and magnificently blur the lines between us and them to the most desirable we. And how do we keep the patient in mind first? Your team has, I can't see it from here. Here we go. Your team has enormous heart and understands that those are not just G-Rex in the cells and the patient's hope. Just like heroes that make the news, we hope that they know that they too save lives. So that is one of our Canadian differences. We're always understated. We can't have Ryan Reynolds do our marketing as our other Canadian company, Nuvei, has, but we certainly do our best. And why is it we've come like this? Why is it we function like this? Well, it comes from where we originate from. We come out of a hospital with a long history of cell therapy experience and innovation. It has the R&D mindset. They had built out a large facility at the time, thinking ahead of where this technology was going. And C3I stepped in as a commercial partner to expand and monetize this. So we work very closely out of Hôpital Maisonneuve-Rosemont, or Rosemont-Maisonneuve Hospital. They continue to be very strong in this field, very strong in the hemato-oncology in particular. We have access to 700,000 patients, 725 physicians, 235 researchers. There's a continuous influx. Why is that important? We gain access to early stage technologies. And more important for groups such as yourselves and biotechs is that you gain access to KOLs. A lot of the groups come in saying, we have our own, we have our DSMB, but it's funny as to how many times we've been called upon to say, do you have an expert that can help us with our protocol? Do you have an expert that can maybe review the profile of this patient that's not behaving quite right to understand where we're going? So this close collaboration continues on, and it's a benefit. We have, in the time frame, so since 2016, we've managed to build everything in-house. So it's one thing to be able to produce the product, but everything that comes with it. So the analytical testing, the immune monitoring that comes in through. We provide support not only from bench to clinical, but there's regulatory support that comes in-house. There's clinical trials, CRO support, but both also supporting a clinical trial that you may be opening at the site. As well as through, as you can imagine, there's built the back end of a pharma. We give back in the sense of supporting innovative technologies in win-win fashions. And as we're getting bigger, we're doing more and more of supporting and investing in innovation. So what's our advantage? So besides of having what everybody else is, the state-of-the-art facility, the automation, the next generation of technologies, what we'd like to say is our big seller, particularly standing out in Canada, but we realize it's competitive globally, is diverse cell manufacturing experience. We've had our people work through and take into the clinic TCRs, CAR-Ts, DCs, both autologous and allogeneic, CRISPR editing, viral and non-viral transduction methods. We have strong CGT background based, again, from where we originate from. We take a big pride in our people. Actually, my IP is my people. That's where our strength comes from. Otherwise, everybody else, the building, everybody else has the equipment. We're going strong at 15 years of GMP experience. We go from development to phase 3, hopefully commercial by the end of the year. So we've gone through the slowly scaling up, building, scaling out. It has been a long road. Has it been an easy road? No. Have we made mistakes? Yes. But we certainly have come a long way and know what we're doing. So in that sense, we do stand out. There's a lot of companies out there doing phase 1s, and not many are making it to phase 3 to commercial. We are very good at what we do. So it's interesting that I've come through the JP Morgans, the other facilitates, and you ask the question, are you happy with your CDMO? And I was surprised to hear that one said yes. Some of the common complaints that come about are, well, it's expensive. There's lack of flexibility. We charge, there's a lot of production failure. CDMO is oversold. We're very Canadians in that way. We always feel that we must under-promise and try to over-deliver. So we take on that approach. We make sure that we always over-deliver. And location has something to do with it. The fact we're in Canada, you know, the exchange rate. God knows I know when I cashed my Canadian dollars for euros. I gave many, but I think I got one back. We have a direct link with a biomarker, so everything is in-house. There's no delay in sending out. We have validated testing that takes you to phase 3 commercial. We're phase appropriate, so for the earlier phases, we understand the earlier, I mean, God knows a lot of the early clients, there's always late in filing their INDs. It's a lot more difficult than expected to open up the clinical sites. Recruitment becomes more complicated, so timelines are always off, and we understand that, and we work with that. So the analytical testing part, we are always improving. We are gearing it up and make sure that it's within 48 to 72 hours with a certificate of release. Everything's performed, I said, in-house, so that part saves a lot of time. You know, facilities in some cases have things on a separate site, and that delay is horrendous. So we perform not only on the analytical testing on the patient, but we also do immune monitoring and other analytical testing on the patient following administration of the product. We have a clinical CRO. It's one of the youngest divisions that we've launched. We're specializing in cell therapy. We can do multiple sites, both for patient monitoring and data monitoring. And of course, it helps with the patient sample collections and biomarker development. So the fact that we can do both quality control and analytical testing in-house, the patient follow-up and the gene expression profiling, minimal residual disease, chimerism, and anything else you have. There's the diagnostic part as well, which is important for many groups to follow out the progress of the patient. So companion testing and biomarker development specific to your needs is something we can do. And if we don't have it, we can certainly develop it. And needless to say that we too offer the state-of-the-art next generation technologies that you would expect in a facility. To keep at the very minimum, besides the fact that it's validated, we have a minimum standard of CAP accreditation. So you know that your products are going to be, or the testing of your product is going to be accurate and reliable. So our manufacturing facility, fully functional, state-of-the-art. At this point, it's the only one in Canada that's validated to go to commercial. We were happy to say that we applied for the Dell at the end, which was on time as expected for us after a 2-year push to improve our processes and build out the capabilities. It's 14 clean rooms, and you think, well, you know, how do we manage the border? All our clients are in the US. As a country, we are, like as we like to say, we're at the mouth of the US. So we manufacture for the majority is US clients, NASDAQ-listed clients, early-stage clients, even academic projects transitioning into company. We are happy to work with all exciting technologies. And we have figured out the border. So, you know, over time, you know what works and you know how to get it to where it needs to go. So nowhere is an issue. Why do we say we're globally competitive? Well, we've been working with clients that are not only manufacturing for the US, but our goal is the EU as well. So to this date, we've manufactured more than 300 products. We intend to hit or be commercial for Europe by the end of the year. Of course, it's really dependent on our client as they file their MAA. We're working together to ensure that they're meeting their needs and we meet our needs and pull ourselves forward for the EU. Yes, it can be done. Manufacturing from Canada, shipping to Europe. Once you put it on a plane, any destination's possible. There's a lot of nonstop flights to Europe. And the cost effectiveness is there, so you pay in Canadian dollars. One of the other challenges you hear from CDMOs is that partners are training and personnel an issue to ensure that we meet our expanding demand. We've built in-house training. We just couldn't find anything in the ecosystem, as well as partnering with local colleges who offer these 3-year programs. What we've ended up doing is actually helping them with their grants and financing to get equipment and improve their curriculum. So helping them helps us. So the youngest one, as we mentioned, is the CRO. It's still growing. We're always working in win-win partnerships for young companies who are interested in working with us. Like I said, we can do the patient monitoring as well as the data monitoring in-house. We've been working through multiple sites, so full service capability. And I'll just skip over that. And the last one is what we mentioned, innovation. So we've been investing in cell and gene therapy companies. Some of them you may have heard of. We like to hear that they're continuing on doing well. One of the companies, which is mostly American-based at this point, California and Texas, is Triumvira, who's in launched clinical trial in solid tumors using Claudin and HER2. Excelthera, which is in phase 3 using their stem cell technology. And our youngest is dealing with rare disease, so I'd like to give them a little bit of advertisement. You know, we hear that a lot of gene therapies, there's a lot of gene therapies working everywhere, but an area that has not worked is in the lung. And this is a little company lost in small town in Ontario, Canada, which is a gem, and hopefully we're going to get to a proof of concept. It's an AAV-based technology that seems to work in the lung. And we're going to support to get it through there by providing the manufacturing in kind and ensuring we can help raise funding, help them with the grant financing, our team implementing ourselves, filling in their gaps, and hopefully see if this works in an early proof of concept in 18 months in surfactant B deficiency children, which it's actually a lethal disease. Children die soon after birth, within weeks after birth. So we are always open to research community, as well as, of course, biotech. We work closely with all groups. We love to work in collaboration. We support innovative technologies, and we continue to support ecosystems. So we're happy to even manufacture compassionate, and we do so with a hope that that makes a change in someone's life. And our goal is for that every potential innovative technology somehow finds its way. Thank you very much.